So I guess that pretty much wraps up everything for college. And then leading into the NFL draft, you unfortunately weren't drafted. One of the things I wanted to ask you, did you expect on draft night that your phone was going to ring? Like, were you looking for it?
I
I mean,
mean, as a
obviously.
kid, well, I mean, when you're like at that level, you're kind of always like hoping, oh, I hope I get picked.
Hmm.
Um, but like knowing, like I knew where I was at, and I was comfortable knowing that I'd be either a late round pick or an undrafted guy.
Hmm.
And when it comes to those later rounds, you never really know what team you're going to go in and if you go in the right fit or not. So, kind of being able to pick and choose where I went, I think helped me by not being picked in the last couple rounds. But you'd always want to be picked, but not being picked was just uh, another
Hmm.
part of my journey.
Wow.
Yeah. And then from there, you went to Minnesota and signed with the Vikings. What was we'll kind of get through like the steps that led to that, but what was the feeling to actually sign a contract? I'm in the NFL. Like, what was that first initial feeling like?
I mean, it was a kind of a dream come true because
Yeah.
I started in third grade, and um, I always wanted to play in college, and then I wanted to play in the NFL. So just being able to kind of get to that point and be like, wow, I did it. I'm living the dream. So whenever someone asks me how I'm doing, I say I'm living the dream. So I
Mm.
mean, it's pretty cool, and just being able to get to that point with both my parents standing next to me because they were there the whole journey.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah. Was it kind of like a sigh? Like all the work that I put in is actually it was worth it the whole time?
Yeah, I mean, it was
Yeah.
nice. That feeling was nice, and I was just excited kind of for what was next and seeing
Mhm.
like what really the NFL is all about.
Yeah. And if I
Yeah.
remember right, the Vikings were pretty deep at your position, right? So
Yeah, they drafted a center in the first round that
yeah.
same year. So
So was that like oh man, like out of all the teams to sign me while I was at this team, like was that kind of a thought that went in your head?
honestly, I was just happy to get the opportunity to play at that level,
Yeah.
and looking back on it, maybe I shouldn't have gone to that team, but it was an awesome experience being able to play with Garrett, who was the first round pick,
Hmm.
and just kind of getting to watch him and watch him develop and seeing like how truly like talented he is.
Yeah. So we talked about the jump from high school to college. What's the jump from college to the NFL? Like, is it another 50 pounds? Like, what's the difference?
So I think the biggest jump is everybody's good. You can be a
Hmm.
third teamer, a fourth teamer. You're freaking good. To get to that point in your career, or to get to the NFL at any time, like you have
Yeah.
to be talented. You have to both be smart. You have to be physically talented. Um, Constantly have to be like knowing what you're doing. You have to be good on and off the field. So you have to be in tune in meetings. Um, People like I always tell people like um, there's about 10 guys on the NFL roster that you're like, holy cow, like these guys are freaking athletic, and the rest of the guys are just hard nosed, hard come to work every day with a great mentality and just work really hard.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. That's crazy.
That's crazy to think about it.
Yeah, I mean it makes sense, right? Like we hear
Yeah,
we talked to Xavier about that and like his journey from high school to college, and he was talking about the same thing. It's like you get to a certain point, and all the people who made it there just off athleticism, they just kind of weed out, and you're just
yeah,
surrounded by people who understand the game on such a high level that it's crazy, you know.
it is. It's nuts.
Yeah. So
So,
then, go ahead,
oh, go
Vincent.
ahead. No, go ahead.
So following the Minnesota, you unfortunately get cut, and then like you said, you get signed to the practice team and get cut from that as well. Kind of walk me through. Obviously, I don't expect you to be like, oh, it was easy to go through, but like you made it to the NFL, and then unfortunately you got cut. Like, how does your mindset go? Does your mindset tell you to get in the gym for 8 hours a day, or like what
So,
was it like?
and, I knew I kind of had a feeling I was going to be cut after camp. I was hoping to be brought back to the practice squad right after camp, but I wasn't. But in my head, I knew it was just another part of the journey for me, and I was willing to keep working to stay in the NFL. So um, I didn't get picked up for 10 weeks, and so those 10 weeks, every day
Mm,
I was in the gym working by myself. I'd go to help at Western Michigan to help coach like in the morning. So I'd wake up early. I'd drive to Kalamazoo. I'd sit in the meetings and I'd go out to the practices just to watch to keep my head in the game and kind of like keep me on the schedule. And then I'd lift after by myself.
mm,
Um, it was tough, but like I knew if I ever wanted that shot to be back in the NFL, that I had to continue to work as if I was in the NFL. So,
mm.
and then when I got the call in week 11, I think to come back and join the practice squad, it was like I said, a dream come true.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
I don't,
What was? Go ahead, Vince. I keep.
oh yeah, I don't want to pry too much. What is that? So like you say you signed a contract. How does that all work? Like, are you getting paid to do this? Is it more like, are you like, do you need money? Like, how does that work while you're signing a contract and you're in that whole process?
So while I was with the Vikings, I was making like the off season, like you get paid for like an off season salary,
Yeah.
and then you get a preseason salary. So I was getting paid my whole time I was in Minnesota.
Okay.
And then for the practice squad, like it jumps way up, and then the active roster jumps way up. But the practice squad, you make good money. And so like right now with the Steelers, I'm making whatever we make during the off season, which is decent money.
Okay. Okay. That's good. 'Cause that's like, man, you get cut. Like, do they cut your check too? Like, that's not cool. You know what I'm
It is,
saying?
yeah. So like after preseason, I got cut, and that's why I came home to like my parents were like right there, like, hey, come live with us. It's free. Just continue to work hard every day, and like if you want to keep living the dream, like we're here to help you. So
That's awesome that you had that support
Oh, wow.
system, man.
yeah.
Yeah. So then from there, you get cut from the practice squad, and then the XFL phone number starts ringing. From you made it to the NFL, and then you get the call from the XFL. What was that like? Did you believe in the vision of the up and coming league? Like, were you excited to be there?
Yeah, so in October, before I got signed back to the Vikings, I was picked in like the XFL draft,
Mm.
and so I was planning on going like because I was training still, and I was like, I'm gonna keep playing football, so I was gonna go play in the XFL, and then I got the call from the Vikings, so then I joined the Vikings, and was thinking I'm not gonna play in the XFL, and then after week 17, I got cut by the Vikings. On 3 days later, I was on my way to Dallas to play in the XFL, and it was an awesome opportunity. I loved like I wish the XFL was to keep going because it was a great opportunity for a lot of guys to get film. And in football, film is your resume. So any chance you can get to put good tape out there, it helps guys. And I mean, it was a fun league. Like the people that were part of the XFL were awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And it sucks at what it is now.
Yeah, yeah. Was part of you nervous at all for kind of jumping into this new idea, this fresh idea? Were you nervous about it, or were you just focused on football?
I was a little nervous. I knew a couple guys on the team, which helped.
Mm-hmm.
But like going in, like I was like, I'm thinking like, oh, I'd come from the NFL. Like this league's gonna be cake.
Yeah.
And when you get there, like you realize people like doesn't matter when you're a professional football player, everybody is still good players. It's like I came in kind of late, so I kind of pick up everything. But when I got there, like I was initially really shocked with how good the players were in XFL.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I shouldn't have been, but like that's just how it was.
Yeah, yeah. Was it like a similar type of jump from college? Did you feel like you were playing college ball again, or could you tell that everyone was
Where does
more
that fit?
talented?
So it was definitely above college football. The
Okay.
XFL was somewhere between the bottom, like probably 10 guys on the roster and a practice squad. So like everyone was pretty good, but it was just like they didn't have any more practice squad eligibility, so they couldn't be on an NFL practice squad, or like the teams just didn't want their contracts in the NFL. So like they needed a place to play. They were still good players. It was just they didn't fit on the NFL team right now.
Yeah, yeah. So you sign a team, you make it there, made it to the XFL. You eventually start on the starting roster. You're getting a lot of minutes, and then I don't know how the phone call came, but you get the phone call that unfortunately coronavirus is going to fold not only the season but the company, which I was surprised to hear about.
Yeah, me too.
What was that? Was that phone call like? Was that from the coaches? Was it from the media? Like, how'd you hear about it?
So originally we got sent home, I think, after week 6. And I had started the previous 2 games, which were my first starts in XFL, which went pretty good. And I was planning on starting the next week. So we got done with practice on that Thursday, which are like the hardest practices, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And Coach Stoops calls us all into a meeting. And like, I mean, we're seeing reports that like the NCAA tournament is maybe canceled or whatever. So we kind of had an idea that something was happening. And he called us in and said, hey, guys, we got to go home. We're hoping to start back up in a couple of weeks when this thing kind of chills out. And so next day we head home. And then a couple of weeks later, we get a call, or I don't even get a call. One of my buddies sent me a text and said, hey, looks like the XFL is canceled. And I was like, I didn't believe it. So I checked Twitter, and I was like, geez. Like, and it said the XFL is canceled for the rest of the season, and they're going to have to lay players off. It was nuts.
Wow. So you found out through Twitter like I did.
Yeah, I found out through Twitter.
That's so annoying.
It is
That's
annoying.
crazy. So here's a funny question: are you getting unemployment checks? Is that how this works?
So the XFL was still paying us when they sent us home,
Okay.
and I was gonna file for unemployment, and it was freaking hard to sign up for unemployment. I'll tell you what, I didn't realize how hard it is to sign up for that.
Yeah.
And so, but like I couldn't sign up for a couple days, and then the next day I got a call from like the Steelers, and they were like, "John, we want to sign you." And so like I signed with them, so they're paying me now. So
Just log off the computer real quick. All right, I won't.
yeah, I don't need to do unemployment anymore.
Yeah.
For now.
So, yeah, I mean, we might as well jump right into that, man. Like, talking. I mean, we've gone through the whole journey up to this point, right? Like,
Yeah.
kind of fighting against the odds, and then you get the call from the Steelers, one of the historic franchises of the NFL. How fast is your heart pumping? Like, what's that feeling like to get that phone call?
I mean, it was nuts. Like it was 10:30 in the morning. Like I like coronavirus has messed up my whole sleep schedule. So
Yeah.
like I was working on stuff, and I get like my agent calls me and like he was like I guess he had called me before and I didn't answer because I was sleeping. I was like, John, you gotta wake up. It was like the Steelers want to sign you today. I was like, okay.
What?
Like it was awesome. It was like I didn't even realize what he was saying because I had just woken up. But
Yeah.
I mean, being able like signing with the Steelers is awesome, and like the amount of fans that have reached out to me that I didn't even know they were Steelers fans. Have been pretty cool.
Yeah. So
Dude, that must be wild, man. Like
Man.
that
It was pretty cool.
yeah.
Like I'm just at home waiting on it. Like I was thinking about getting a regular job, and I was continuing to work out, but like at this point, like I didn't know what was next, especially with like what the virus is doing, and just being able to get the call to keep living the dream is awesome.
Man, congrats, by the way. I think
Yeah, that's a
Thank
big
you.
round of applause, man. That's crazy.
Nuts.
So, talking about the Steelers, man, like what are you excited about going into? Obviously, you're excited to continue to play the game that you love, but like, what does it mean that it's the Steelers? Like now that you get your chance.
I mean, it's just an awesome opportunity, just with any organization in the NFL, but especially the Steelers and how successful they've been and the type of organization they are with the Pittsburgh community is awesome. And I played with a couple guys that are on Steelers at Western Michigan, so being able to rejoin them and just being able to have another shot in the NFL is a dream. Most guys don't get one, so getting two is pretty cool.
Yeah,
that is huge. So what is the rumblings internally about when they're gonna get back to play and all that kind of stuff? Like,
so we know as much as you guys probably. So I guess we can't really. We're doing virtual. I had my first virtual OTA today, which is like through a camera, and we just kind of go over the plays and stuff, and we'll do that for the next 3 weeks. And we can't we're supposed to have an off-season program from now until June 25th ish, and so we're not going to the facilities for now. And the only way we're going to be able to report is if every team's state allows us to. So like like Pittsburgh or so Pennsylvania has to allow us to go to the facility and be able to practice, but so does like Michigan for the Detroit Lions, and so every state has to be
ready,
be open, be ready.
Wow,
that's crazy.
So we're just hoping when fall comes that we're able to start camp. I think.
So then how is your practice and like preparation changed? Are you just, lifting when you can? Obviously you can't really get on a field. It's not like you're going to, practice against nobody right now.
So I was working out, like Western skates were open. So I was able to work out on the field down there. They've recently locked them, but having my dad as a principal and trying to find places around town that have gyms that I can work out in is nice. And one of my buddies just got signed Sunday with the Eagles. So we've been kind of working out together and trying to find different places around town. And it's tough, but like you got to kind of make do with what you got.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So when you got signed and all that, does part of you in the back of your mind be like, of course it's right now during this whole thing? Or are you just like, do you block out all that negative and all that?
I was just happy to be part of the team and just get the call. So like nothing. I mean, if the virus keeps us away, it's just more of an opportunity for me to keep working and trying to get better while I'm home. So I mean, it lets me stay home with my family and work out. But I was just happy to get the call.
Yeah, that's good.
Try to make the most of it.
Mm-hmm. So now that you've made it onto the the biggest football stage, do you have a lot of mentors? Whether it's previous coaches or teammates Do you have a good support system of people actually in the game that you can reach out to?
Oh yeah, a lot of my college coaches have been there and reaching out to me if I never needed anything, or I mean, most of the time when things would be open, my strength coach in college was always there for me, and he really gives me a chance to come back and lift and give me different workouts and things. I've been in contact with my past line coaches, like I said, like they're the ones who like really get to know you the best, and they've reached out to me, and if whenever I need anything, I'm free to reach out to them. So I have a lot of guys, like different people around me that I think are good. It's a good support system for me.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Man, what a journey, man. What a
I know
journey.
it's nuts.
Like,
It's
Yeah.
nuts. The
Yeah.
NFL is nuts. Everyone thinks like, oh, everyone goes in and makes millions of dollars, but there's a lot of guys that, you know, are living week to week and
Just happy to be there.
so yeah,
Yeah.
it's a good opportunity for a lot of people.
Right.
wow,
Right.
that's so powerful, man.